Welcome. Before I give you the 15 most powerful psychology tricks to read anyone like an open book, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been lied to and didn't realize it until it was too late? Have you ever trusted someone who later broke your heart? Have you ever felt something was wrong, but ignored your gut because they said the right words? If you answered yes, this video is for you, and it may just change your life forever. Because today, you're going to learn something that most people never teach you in school. How to read human beings, not just their words, but their eyes, energy, movements, tone, and silence. You'll learn how to read what someone is really feeling, even if they're pretending. You'll learn how to know if someone is lying to you, secretly jealous, truly attracted to you, hiding guilt, or silently screaming for help. And once you learn this skill, you will trust people better, protect your heart, strengthen your relationships, improve your communication, and most importantly, understand the truth, even when it's not spoken. Because here's the truth. Words lie, but the body never does. And this video will teach you how to see what others miss. Before we begin the first trick, let me show you how powerful this really is. Let's play a quick game. And you must be honest. Question 1. Think of a country that starts with the letter D. Don't say it out loud, just keep it in your mind. Question 2. Take the last letter of that country and think of an animal that starts with that letter. Still don't say anything. Just think. Question 3. Now think of a color that starts with the last letter of that animal. Lock it in. Hold that country, animal, and color in your head. Are you ready? Let me guess. You're thinking of Denmark, kangaroo, orange. Was I right? If yes, congratulations. You just proved something very important. Most people follow hidden mental patterns without realizing it. You had freedom to choose, but psychology guided your answer. That's how powerful this topic is. And that was just a fun trick. Now imagine using real psychology to read real people in your daily life. Your boss, your lover, your friend, your enemy. Before we begin, this video will not only teach you how to read anyone, it will also improve your English naturally. So if you want to grow your mind and your language, subscribe now. Let's begin. Trick 1. Watch the eyes. They show what the mouth hides. There's one part of the human body that never learned how to lie. It doesn't matter how clever, calm, or charming a person is. This part always reveals the truth. That part is the eyes. People can train their voice. They can control their tone. They can rehearse their words before they speak. They can fake a smile. They can act confident. But they can never teach their eyes to lie. Because eyes don't speak from the brain. They speak from the heart. They are the first part of your body to react when emotion hits, before you even realize it yourself. Think about it. When someone feels love, their eyes soften. When someone feels joy, their eyes shine. When someone feels fear, their eyes widen. When someone feels guilt, their eyes fall away. And when someone feels pain, their eyes dim, like light covered by a storm cloud. We've all seen this, but we often ignore it because we're too focused on the words. But if you truly want to understand someone, you must learn to stop listening to the noise and start looking at the eyes. Because words are logic. Eyes are emotion. And emotion is always the real story. Imagine this moment. You ask your friend, "Are you okay?" They smile and say, "Yeah, I'm fine." But their eyes, They don't move like they used to. They blink slower. They don't sparkle. And for just half a second, you saw something heavy inside them, like their heart was trying to speak through the silence. That's not fine. That's pain wearing a mask. And if you're the kind of person who listens only to words, you'll miss it every time. But if you're the kind who watches with compassion, you'll see it. And maybe, for the first time in their life, someone will finally understand them. Sometimes the opposite happens. You meet someone who barely says anything, yet you feel something magnetic about them. They don't talk much, but when they look at you, it's different. Their eyes stay. Their gaze doesn't wander. It's calm. It's warm. It feels like they actually see you. That's love. That's respect. That's real presence. The kind that can't be faked or practiced. And when someone looks at you like that, you feel safe. Because the eyes carry truth, and truth carries peace. Now think about lies again. There are two types of liars. The first kind avoids eye contact completely. They know they're lying, so they look away out of guilt. They blink too much. They try to distract you with gestures or smiles. The second kind, the more dangerous one, stares too hard. They force eye contact because they've been told that honest people look you in the eye. But that stare doesn't feel calm. It feels heavy, forced, unnatural. Their eyes don't rest. They attack. The difference is easy to feel. One kind of gaze avoids truth. The other tries too hard to create it. But neither is natural. Real honesty is calm. It doesn't rush. It doesn't prove. It simply is. The eyes are a mirror. They reflect exactly what the heart is carrying. When you look into someone's eyes, you're not just seeing them. You're seeing their world. You're seeing memories, fears, hopes, and emotions that words can't express. That's why it's so hard to hold eye contact with someone you love, because it feels like standing naked in front of their soul. And that's why it's painful to hold eye contact with someone who has hurt you, because you can feel the distance where warmth used to be. The eyes are not just organs of sight. They're organs of emotion. They don't just see others. They show us. So, from today, I want you to start observing differently. When you talk to someone, stop thinking about your next sentence. Watch. Notice. Observe the movement of their eyes. When do they shine? When do they fall? When do they freeze? When do they avoid you? When do they soften? That's where the truth hides. It's not in the big speeches. It's in the tiny flicker that lasts half a second, but says everything. One day you'll meet someone who will look at you, not with lust, not with curiosity, not with politeness, but with presence. And you'll feel something powerful because in that moment their eyes are saying, I see you. All of you, no judgment, no pretending, just truth. That's connection. That's what humans crave more than anything, to be seen. And on another day, you'll meet someone whose eyes used to look at you with love, but now they avoid you. They talk, they smile, they joke, but their gaze never lands on you anymore. That's when you'll know. The emotion has changed, and that realization will hurt. But it will also free you. Because the eyes don't lie, and sometimes the truth is the gift that finally lets you stop begging for love that's already gone. So, if you want to read anyone, in relationships, business, friendship, or family, don't rush to listen. Pause. Look into the eyes, because everything they've ever felt, everything they're hiding, everything they wish they could say, is right there. And once you learn to read that, you'll never walk blindly again. Trick 2. The voice tells you everything. even when the words lie. Sometimes people lie with their lips, but their voice tells the truth. This is called paralanguage, the sound behind the words. It includes things like tone. Are they warm, cold, sharp? Pitch. Is the voice higher than usual? Nervous? Speed. Are they rushing their words or pausing too long? Volume. Are they too soft when denying something? Breath or sighs. That quiet sigh when they say, "I'm okay." Why does it matter? Because when the voice doesn't match the message, something is being hidden. Example. They say, "I'm fine." But the voice is soft. The tone is flat. Maybe a tiny pause before speaking. That's not fine. That's pain pretending to be okay. They say, "No, I don't care." But they say it quickly, sharply, with a raised pitch, almost as if they're angry. That means they do care, a lot. Your job isn't just to hear the words. Your job is to listen to the music behind them, the emotional soundtrack. When you train your ear for paralanguage, you'll never be fooled again. You'll hear sadness behind smiles, jealousy behind jokes, and love behind silence. Trick 3. Crossed arms and legs, the silent language of emotional walls. The body talks louder than words, and one of its loudest signals is this: crossed arms or crossed legs. This is not just about sitting style. It's a psychological wall, the body's way of protecting itself. When someone crosses their arms in front of their chest, or crosses their legs away from you, it's often a silent message of discomfort, resistance, or emotional distance. It could mean, "I don't feel safe right now. I don't trust this conversation. I'm protecting myself, emotionally or physically." Imagine, you're talking to someone about something emotional. Suddenly, they cross their arms, lean back, or tighten their shoulders. Their mouth might say, "It's fine," but their body just screamed, "This is not fine." Even crossed legs tell you something powerful. If their legs are crossed away from you, it often means disconnection. If their legs are crossed toward you, it can mean interest or comfort. Also, crossing arms can be fake confidence too. When someone stands with arms crossed and chin up, it might look powerful. But often it's actually fear hiding behind control. When you see crossed limbs, don't judge. Observe. The body is building a wall. Ask yourself, what are they protecting? Trick 4. The micro pause, the silent space between the lie and the truth. You ask a simple question. "Where were you last night?" They smile, they nod, then they pause. Just for a second. A tiny hesitation. And then they answer, "I was with my friends." Most people wouldn't even notice that pause. It's not dramatic. It's not loud. It's not a full silence. It's just one small breath before the sentence. But that breath, that 1 second of hesitation, that's the sound of the brain trying to decide, what should I say right now? What will make me look innocent? What's the safest way to answer this question? That pause is the bridge between two worlds. One world is truth, which flows freely. The other world is filtered speech, which needs to be planned, edited, masked. And when someone pauses in that moment, that tiny delay, they're not speaking from the heart. They're speaking from calculation. Here's what most people don't understand. Truth doesn't hesitate. When someone is being real, their words flow easily. There's no delay, no preparation, no mental filtering. If you ask someone, "Did you take the money?" and they answer instantly, "No, I didn't." Their answer is aligned with their truth. But if you ask the same question, and there's even a half-second delay, followed by a vague tone or a change in expression, what you just witnessed is their internal conflict. It's the brain trying to build a believable version of the truth, which is another way of saying, they're not telling you everything. This pause can happen in any situation, not just when someone is lying, but also when they're hiding something or protecting someone or feeling afraid to be judged. It's not always about guilt. Sometimes it's about fear of being misunderstood. But in either case, the result is the same. Hesitation is the shadow of truth. It shows you that something isn't flowing naturally. And when you see that pause, that flicker of silence, that micro moment of searching, that's your moment to stop listening to the words and start asking, why did they need time to answer something so simple? You ask your friend, do you still want to come to the trip with us? And they smile and say, yeah, of course. But you noticed it. The tiny pause, the look away, the shift in tone. They said yes, but that pause whispered, I'm not sure. I don't really want to, but I don't want to hurt you. I'm already pulling away. And that moment, that 1 second delay, can tell you more than a whole conversation. Because people think lies are found in big stories. But the truth is, usually hiding in the tiniest space between question and answer. And when you learn to notice it, you'll start hearing the words behind the words. Trick 5. The feet point to the truth, even when the face pretends. Here's something that almost nobody talks about. But once you notice it, you can't unsee it. We spend our whole lives watching people's faces, trying to read their smile, their eyes, their tone. But the face is the most controlled part of the body. We're taught from childhood. Smile even when you don't mean it. Keep a straight face. Don't show you're angry. The face is trained. It's rehearsed. It knows how to lie. But there's one part of the body that no one ever trains. And that part is the feet. The feet are raw. They're honest. They're the last thing people think to control in a conversation. And that's why they often reveal the deepest truth. Now listen carefully to this. Wherever the feet are pointing, that's where the mind and heart want to go. So imagine this. You're standing in a group conversation. Someone is talking to you. They're smiling. They're nodding. They're saying all the right words. But their feet, they're pointed toward the door or toward someone else. Or they keep shifting side to side like they're restless. That's the moment you realize they don't really want to be here. They're looking for an escape. They've already left emotionally. Their body is just waiting for permission. This also works in relationships. Let's say you're sitting with your partner on the couch. You're trying to have a real conversation. They say, I'm listening. Go on. But they're leaning back. Their arms are crossed, and their feet are pointed away. Toward the hallway, the wall, the edge of the room. What you're feeling in that moment, that emotional distance, isn't just in your head. It's in their posture. It's in their legs. It's in the way their body is disconnecting from you, even while their mouth says, I'm listening. And once you learn to see that, you'll stop chasing words and start reading what matters most, where their heart is already moving. It works the other way, too. When someone is truly present with you, they lean in. Their feet face you directly. They don't shuffle. They don't aim for the exit. Their whole body is saying, I'm here. I'm with you. I'm focused and you feel it. You feel safe, heard, valued. because the body speaks louder than any sentence. Now think about how many times you've ignored this sign, how many times you've talked to someone, and you knew deep down they weren't really with you, but you kept talking, you kept hoping, you believed their words but ignored the truth under your feet. And how many times have people done the same to you? Smiled at you, but their feet already pointed toward someone else? In dating, in friendship, in arguments, in everyday life. The body is always speaking, but the feet, they often tell the truth before the heart dares to. So, from today,